An open letter to Babajide KOLADE-OTITOJU on his choice of words for the Nigerian army. Dear sir, I write this letter to express my thoughts to you on the recent statement you made concerning the Nigerian army on TVC's journalist hangout. First and foremost, you are a civilian journalist who surely does not have much knowledge of the workings of the Nigerian army. Hence, I find it disturbing that you make use of the slightest opportunity to urge the Nigerian army to go and attack bandits and insurgents at their different camps. You fail to realize that the Nigerian army works with a chain of command, and they, the army, do not have the numerical strength in the northeast to carry out massive attacks simultaneously. And I am always saddened whenever you call out the Nigerian army on the journalists' hangout. I urge you to be more sympathetic towards the Nigerian army, as many of these patriotic Nigerians have been in the war fields for up to 2 years without seeing their loved ones. Hence, you to show maximum respect to men and women of the Nigerian army and change the way some people view men of the Nigerian army as incapable of winning the war against insurgency. The Nigerian army is doing their best in the battle against insurgency in Nigeria, and in a short while, I believe that this menace would be totally taken care of. I think that the fact is everyone is angry, first of all, and secondly, when we talk about the Nigerian army, I think that when in the context of politics, we are basically addressing the government, because we know that they are capable and we know that the resources are needed. We're not talking about the army people themselves. Absolutely not. We know that, yes, that the people, that the country, it just seems like there's a pattern. The resources are there. They keep looting and stealing money. Corruption keeps breeding, and they have all this money and salaries to themselves, which they cannot account for. So it's like all these funds are going to them personally, when these funds could go to empower the army, give them more incentives like insurance or schooling for their children. Just insurance, because again, it's incentive for them to leave their families and go and fight is a huge sacrifice. So there are no incentives, first of all, and two, they're not empowered. And it's not like as if the resources are not there. We know we are well capable of taking on that Boko Haram. And again, it's just they know what to do. They know what to do because they have the resources, and they're choosing not to do it. So again, I understand that the choice of words seem as if it is the people in the actual individuals that are fighting. Absolutely not. When we talk about the Nigerian army, we mean the Nigerian government, because obviously they work together. Of course, we're talking about the leaders in the Nigerian army, the ones that collect the funds, the ones, again, we are basically addressing the government. And I don't think any Nigerian understanding what Nigeria goes through in terms of, the insurgency, the banditry. I mean, since 2009, Boko Haram has been in this country, and a Nigerian has the audacity to be rude or undermine what, soldiers are going through. Absolutely not. In fact, we sympathize with them because we know that they're being underpowered. They're not being funded enough. They're not being empowered enough. So we even feel bad that with what is given to them, they're trying to fight and protect this country. So we respect them, absolutely. It's just the frustration of Nigerians, where it's like, we know what is attainable. We know that the funds are there. I mean, they're stealing the money, they're printing the money. It seems like as if they don't understand what economics is, and they don't understand how to revive and keep and sustain an economy. They don't understand these things. But then when funds could be directed at empowering certain things and making sure the country is better, they use it for something else. And so the Nigerian army is a huge faction, because we're talking about insecurity, which is a big issue. So the Nigerian army is a faction of the Nigerian government, where it's like funds should be directly going there. There is no point why all of these things are happening when you people are going abroad, getting a treatment, your kids are studying abroad, you have excess money, your salaries, even the people in America and UK do not earn that much, and you're a local government chairman. Come on now. So again, just to address and reiterate, no one is coming for, no one is coming for, and if you're going to come for the Nigerian army, you should give a good reason why, because it's not justified. I think that, obviously, an average Nigerian probably doesn't even know how the hierarchy of the army works and what orders is taken from who and all that. But then again, the Nigerian, it's a hard topic. But again, the Nigerian army, in terms of the individuals that make up the actual fighting force, the labor force of the Nigerian army, we're not talking about them. We're talking about their leaders. We're talking about our general leaders, the Minister of Defense, Chief of Staff, Chief of Defense, all these titles or whatever that don't have any meaning because they're not doing their jobs. So again, no one is coming for the Nigerian army. No one is. And sometimes that does not mean that we cannot call them out on certain issues. I mean, the Nigerian army that came to shoot, NSAS protesters, we called them out as we should, because it's like, why would you just take orders to go and kill people just because you please, come on, please. Obviously, we understand, okay, fine, we don't know how the army works, but it doesn't mean that Nigerians, in the sensible ones at least, will know when is right and appropriate to call out the army, because they're just certain things that should not be done ethically. And of course, we understand the as an average Nigerian, imagine what you go through in your daily life when infrastructure is absolutely horrible, and then think of how somebody who is trying to fight a faction of ISIS come on now, and then they're being undersupplied. I don't even know what the word is, but they're being overpowered. First of all, the funds that should go to them are not going to them. They are fighting with tactics that are not even updated with technology. Like, come on now. So again, it's scary, but no one is coming for him. But I'm not sure. We don't have evidence of that. This guy, this Babajide, whoever person on TV said this about the thing. But I highly doubt that they're coming for the Nigerian army themselves. Somebody here says Babajide is doing his work. Let the Nigerian army go home and work and stop failing their duty to protect Nigeria. Someone says the action of the army makes people question their ability. Absolutely. Imagine how fast they had to respond to Biafra ESN. But it's orders. Imagine if they've been ordered to go to ESN with immediate effect and proactivity, and they're not doing the same for Northern. Again, it is the leaders. We know it is the leaders, and yes, we can call them out in certain issues, but when we talk about why they cannot fully fight or fully, defeat Boko Haram, I think that's a question that we need to give to the what do you call it? It's a question we need to give to the Chief of Staff or Chief of Army Defense, those people, and the government, because the money is there, the resources are there, the training, they can get trained. It's not a thing. These people are not willing to spend the money. Nothing is for free. And Nigerians understand that money is being looted, money is not being, resources are not being efficiently allocated. And so we have corruption just breeding, and we know that, it's sad, but that does not mean that we're now attacking the army themselves. No. But it still does not mean that Nigerians cannot call out the army when they are doing things that are highly unethical and that are basically infringing on the human rights of people. Put what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.